Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of the RUNECAST. I'm your host, Orion, and today we have two wonderful guests, Mudkip and EVScape. How's it going, Mudkip?
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, EVScape?
What's up, man?
I'm doing very well, dude. Doing very well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. Had experience with y'all in the past in the previous channel. That was a good time. Between two willows. Hopefully, I can do more interviews like that in the future. I thought that was really fun. But
I found that hilarious, to be honest with you.
Had to start this
sick fade, bro.
Yeah, I had to start this new channel, of course, because I had an email from when I was basically 12, and it just won't let me get it back anymore. Basically,
what was it? Orion Rocks at 69 at hotmail.com.
It was like some really edgy, email like zoz@yahoo.com or something like that. Like something really edgy.
Yahoo, that's how you know.
Hey man, I still rock that Yahoo email. All right, so cool.
Dude, every time someone says Yahoo, it just like reminds me of that. What's that guy? The real old dude that streams on Twitch, and he's just like, Yahoo!
R scoring gold. Yahoo!
Yeah, old man.
CX Yahoo! Only once Yahoo!
Yeah.
I'm gonna name it.
Great stuff.
Cool, yeah, so I got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We mostly going to go over the Theater of Blood, the Dead Man Mode tournament that just happened recently. This is happening on July 3rd, this stream right here, this podcast. We're going to go over some of the integrity changes, some hardcore Iron Man stuff, and what you guys think are going to be for the next big content. So let's just start it off with the Theater of Blood. EVScape, we know that you've been having most of the experience with that, not Mudkip, because, he's a max main and he doesn't
hardcore,
do that
by the
stuff.
way.
Yeah. What do you think of the changes recently to the Theater of Blood, and how was like OG release?
The OG release is great, dude. It was a really fun time. Probably the most fun I've had in the game in a long time. Just because it's new content. It was fun to do. A lot of people were complaining on the day of release, like how difficult it was. They were screaming for nerfs, and I was just like, I didn't complete. Though. Yeah, I didn't get my first completion until 8 days after the release. Like, it was definitely hard, but like, yeah, so many people were complaining about how difficult it was, and then they said they weren't going to nerf it in any way, and then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, they nerf it, and I was like, I don't know about it. I like the changes. It does make it easier to like get kills and stuff like that, but I kind of wish they didn't change it from like the release date, because I think it was perfect the way it was. They nailed it. But yeah, I mean it's still fun. It's still fun to do.
Yeah, I thought. What do you think of like they have the chests now instead of actually just getting random items?
Yeah, I didn't like the idea of the random items. But then I also don't like the idea of the point system, because like the point system is kind of scuffed. And it's just like the point was, if you did the theater well, you were on a good team and everyone knew what they were doing and everyone worked together well. The random items from the chest wouldn't matter. Mm-hmm. Someone always got brews, someone always got restores. Like, everyone would have everything they need if everyone performed properly, and that's the way they wanted it on release. And then they kind of just changed it up, so it's just like, even if you're on a shit team now, like, you'll be able to
pull through,
figure it out. Yeah.
I'm just disappointed you can't buy the onion.
Well, you actually can still get an onion, dude.
Can't you get it from the chest?
Yeah, so if you die in both rooms, you still get an onion. You don't get any points.
Nice.
Yeah, I rated that. That was good, because I was disappointed about the onion disappearing as well. But then I got one.
You're disappointed by it being gone. That's wonderful. Yeah, somebody I remember watching like a video, and somebody actually bought an onion that was dropped from raids for like 2 mil, and the person was like, "Oh, well, that's wonderful."
Yeah, someone bought.
Was it Bodhi's cabbage?
Yeah. No, Bodhi's cabbage.
Was it cabbage or was it onion? Oh, wow.
Bodhi's cabbage went bad. Yeah, heaps.
Impressive.
The Bodhi cabbage. What do you think of that? The big Spider-Man. What's his name? Nilokus. I'm not.
Oh, the Nihilakist.
Yeah, I haven't done Theater of Blood either, because
it's probably the room that like breaks teams. So it's like I like it. It's if you're on a good team, it's an easy room. If everyone knows what they're doing, it's easy to get through. But if you're on a team where like even if one person is slacking, it becomes the hardest room in the raid. Like it can really fuck up a run. So I like the way they've done that because everyone has to work together. If there's one person not pulling their weight, then it's over for you.
Because they got rid of like the majority of the beginning waves to where it was just a bunch of guff, right?
Yeah. So the beginning waves are just silly and easy. So it's like I guess them doing that sort of cut like a minute and a half off every single raid and didn't really change much, which I guess is kind of cool. But also thought that like the beginning waves sort of gave you a bit of a warm up to like get into it. Nowadays you just like jump in and it's like straight in. You have to go like real hard, real quick. But I'm not sure what they did with the health of the pillars though. I know they nerfed the health of the pillars, and I found that after the update, like my team was dying in there a lot. But like now it's fine. But yeah, I'm not sure what they did with them.
Yeah, it was just brought down by 10 hit points. It was reduced from 140 to 130.
Oh, was it only 140 hit points? No shit.
Yeah, it's not too much, honestly. You'd think it'd be a lot more, but...
Honestly, though, like, that is a lot, considering the fact that the waves they took out, you would never take any damage on the pillars. So it's like, that's still, I don't know, like, 8% or something of the total health that they brought down.
What do you
think? Yeah, I don't know, that's a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about like solo raids too? Like, do you think about them introducing like the ability to do that, but like take away the majority of uniques would be good, or do you think it should still be like raids 1 where you could still get uniques?
I don't think they should take away the uniques completely, but I hate what they've done at the moment. This is what I think is the worst part about raids 2. They've made it so that if you're in a team of 4, you still have the same chance of getting a unique drop as if you're in a team of 5. So, like, same with 3, same with 2, same with 1. So if you were to do a solo raids 2, you'd have the same chance of getting a drop as if you took 5 people along, which I think is silly. I think the more people you have in there, the higher chance you should have of a drop. They said that they wanted to do that because if you're able to do it with 4 people, then you should have the same chance. Yet it's easier to do it with 4 people in some of the rooms, like after the changes. So I'm not a big fan of that update, but I like that they're going to make it available to solo players. I don't think that they should have the same chance of getting drops as a team, though.
Yeah, it was a Theater of Blood is really fucking really huge, and it brought a lot of new rewards as well. A lot of people, Justice R is actually really underwhelming.
Yeah, it was always going to be underwhelming though. Like you can't really expect in a game where DPS is king, you can't really expect a tank armor to be, the fucking best thing in the world. Because like even if you could wear that armor and you take no damage from anything ever, like you put that armor on and you're invincible, it still wouldn't be the best in slot for a lot of things because you want quicker kills at most things to make more money per hour. So it's like it is underwhelming in the fact that it's not as good as the rest of the rewards, but for what it is useful for, it is insanely useful.
Yeah, it's just so niche, and it's the face guard meme, like, oh, we just got a Justice R face guard, but
don't talk to me about Justice Guard face guards, mate. Let me tell you.
It's funny because it's like you're just there's the meta, and it's that a content developer can always try and deter away from the meta, but it always feels like it'll always just come back. You know what I mean? Or it feels. Yeah. I feel like as if it truly needs a buff.
It's especially in a very linear game like old school. It's like there's only so many things that you can do with the way that the combat system works to mix things up in a sense. So yeah, it's pretty hard to sway away from the meta.
Kipper, Mudkipper,
Yo yo.
if you were to
Hey.
choose anything from the Theater of Blood for your hardcore, what do you think you'd pick up?
Ooh, so I don't really know too much about it or really know the rewards, but the scythe seems pretty cool. Just because like it'd be cool to have a scythe. It looks cool.
You'd pick the
That's
the
really
scythe
how I
because
know.
it's the scythe.
There's a staff that heals you too, so that'd be cool to have it Kraken and not have to bank for Kraken. So that'd be kind of cool.
That would be pretty cool. Talking about the Theater of Blood, Kip, do you think that the fact that it takes away hardcore status if you die once is fair?
I think that's fair because I know some hardcores have been completed. I heard someone say that 4 hardcores have died already. I know one of them was someone who just made an account just to die to be the first, but there have been a few. So I mean, from what the rewards sound like, they seem pretty OP. So I think it sounds right.
Well, cool. That's the Theater of Blood. You know, what have they said? They're gonna release any more changes?
I believe they're going to change the Nihilus boss again so that it can't attack you instantly after it changes styles. And they're also, yeah, like you said, updating it so that it's solo players and duos and stuff can go along as well.
More reliable, yeah. So I was also going to bring up after that, we got the Deadman Mode tournament that just actually finished up. I think it was 2 days ago. They just had the winner. It was some random person. I can't remember their name. I'm sorry.
Deadman Mode Freak Show.
Yeah.
Hashtag lit.
Hashtag lit. At least it wasn't hashtag rot. Am I right, guys? But
Hey, well, I ain't got no beef with rot.
hey. But yeah, speaking of that, you know, there's a lot of drama with the whole servers thing going on with Deadman Mode. And I don't know how extensively you guys follow it, but you know, you don't know Micah279 or Mika?
Yeah, Mika.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it felt really bad after, you know, because you can imagine grinding for a week straight, 20 hours a day, and like not much sleep at all, because you have time to, you know, gotta eat food and shit and piss, and you know, you do all this, you go to the very last hour, and you just get bombed hardcore.
Yeah, definitely sucks, but I mean, what are you gonna do? It's like DDoSing has been a huge thing in the game since the dawn of time, you know?
Yeah.
People used to DDoS other people when they died so they could get their items off the ground, you know? It's just like, if you don't want to get DDoSed, there's ways you can protect yourself against that. And especially in such a big situation like that, where he's, you know, gotten to the top end of the tournament quite a few times in a row, you'd think that he would have taken some extra precautions to protect himself against it. Like he said he did, but you know,
I feel like there
it
could
sucks
have
that
been
it
a bit of
happened.
complacency.
And yeah, it sucked that it happened, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do about it. You want to be protected against it, and you got to protect yourself.
Yeah, I just can't imagine spending so much time to just lose it like that, because you know, money just brings out the evil in people, and it's terrible sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
And it sparked a lot of controversy because it was affecting the normal servers as well.
Oh.
Well, that's yeah, that was I think they pinned that down to someone was DDoSing the Jewel Arena or something like that. I don't know. I didn't like read too much into it, but yeah, it's pretty stupid.
The Aussie server was so good.
Yeah, we always
because
want the Aussie
they were DDoSing the American servers and the European servers or whatever. They weren't DDoSing the Australian servers, which was fucking great for me.
All the Aussies are getting so pissed. I'm not talking about drunk either. They're getting very, very upset at everyone.
Yeah, the servers
Look,
look like.
Rightfully so.
When you can't find yourself a free world at Bloodveld because everyone's piled into your Australian worlds, man was not happy.
Yeah, the
I
servers
totally
were
understand.
looking back like they were back in the day when like they were all full, like 2K.
Yeah.
It was crazy
yeah.
looking.
200,000 people online.
Those were the days.
Those are the days, man.
But it was a lot after the tournament ended. There's a lot of talk about like should Deadman Mode even continue, because a lot of people complaining about the fact that, you know, the $11 rise is just to, you know, support this shady tournament, this esport that a lot of people don't even think is actually really could be considered an esport. That it's just silly, honestly. What do you guys think about?
I think that people,
it in general?
I think people thinking that the $11 rise has anything to do with the tournament, they need to get a grip. Like,
Yeah.
They run it 4 times a year, and it's what, $30,000, so 120 grand. I think they're going to be making a lot more than $120,000 from the price increase. I don't think it has anything to do with the Dead Man tournament whatsoever. But like, in terms of its future, honestly, I don't even watch it anymore because it's the exact same thing every single time. It's just like you grind it out for a week and then clan versus clan battle, and like if you're not in a clan, you have to like join a clan for the final hour to even make it to the 1v1s, and then everyone that joins a clan has to make a deal. Like if you win money, you got to give some to them, and it's just a silly format to keep doing. Like it was fun the first couple times, but I think something in RuneScape can become an esport. I just don't think this is it because it's not. They don't mix it up enough. They don't change it around.
They had King of the Skill that one time. I thought it was a nice change.
That was also shit.
King of the Skill.
I know you went pretty hard with the fishing, but there's no like final tournament or anything though. It's just 24 hours of playing.
It's just like, and the fact that it goes for so long, you know what I mean? Like they need to come up with something that they can start at one moment and then finish it at the next. Like it all goes in one day. I think that's what they need to come up with.
Just one quick fell swoop. Just finish.
Yeah,
it.
it's just like if they take it, they make it go for so long, then you know it's like every single time they want to run this event, they have to run this thing for a whole week, and it's like people stop playing it because it gets boring. They don't want to have to grind out everything 4 times a year, like all the quests, all of the skills. Like it's a lot to do in 1 week, and it's hard to practice for as well, you know. So I think they need to come up with something that people can practice for and is over quickly, so that
a lot of the
also
argument,
something that's, you know, exciting. So
yeah, a lot of the argument, to be honest, was people's like when you play RuneScape, naturally it's a grind for the most part. Is when you do play it, everything is a grind. So to other people, it made sense to continue on it being like a grindy game mode where you grind out, you test how efficient you are at the game for the, you know, first 6 days, and the final day is where you test your PvP aspect of the game. Because RuneScape, I guess, is inherently about grinding things away. You know what I mean?
I guess it is. That's a good point, but I feel like Deadman mode being a PvP game mode, like people don't really care about the grind. You know, they're watching it to see people kill other people and see who's the best at doing that. So, like, I kind of like the aspect that you would have to go out and get your own equipment and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's so dominated by clans that like everyone has pretty much max gear by the end of it, and it's just like doesn't make a difference anymore, you know.
Yeah.
So like I like that idea that it's like it is a grind and it should be a grind, but not that much of a grind. I'm sure that there's a way they can, you know, dull it down to a 12-hour kind of thing, increase XP rates again, increase drop rates on things so that people can get gear, and yeah, I don't know.
You know, just looking at the future of it, I think really the only way to really secure a future for Deadman mode is to try and find a way to stop Clanman mode. Truly.
Yeah, exactly. I like the idea they have something in the game for clans, but I don't think they should mix clans and singles players, because singles players just can't win against clans. It doesn't work. So maybe they could come up with like a new singles Deadman mode, like the tournament. I like the game mode in general, like the seasonal, but maybe they could come up with something like a singles Deadman mode tournament where it runs for 12 hours. There's increased drop rates on a bunch of different things, and then
make it like Iron Man mode.
Well, yeah, kind of like that, but there's like no PvP aspect to it until the finals. you know. That way, like everyone that makes the tournament, make it more like elite to get involved. It's just like make higher requirements to get involved, and then have like 120 players that get into it, and they get straight into the 1v1s after like a 12-hour grind. So it's like, see who can do the best after 12 hours, and call it like that.
Yeah, because bringing something like an 1,000 player tournament and bringing it down like to try and do, okay, so we're gonna make, you know, instead of having the final hour just be everybody mashed up and hitting each other with chins, it's gonna be just straight up teleporting everybody into a 1v1 when there's potentially 1,000 players is a bit crazy, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, it's like, think about all other esports in the world. When they have their big events, the people that are the top players are always there. They are at the event, so you can watch them play live and you can see them, you know, do their thing. Whereas for the Deadman mode, they have 3 or 4 players that aren't even guaranteed to make the 1v1s. It's like, imagine they have a year with the Deadman mode where they get 5 people along and none of them make the final. That's just like a shit event. No one wants to watch that. Everyone wants to watch the people that make the end and are actually fighting it out for the money, because it's like, it's more exciting that way, you know?
Yeah, because when you're watching huge groups of people chinning each other and bursting each other, it's like you don't even really know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
As a viewer, it's really painful until you get to the 1v1s, and you know, by the time you get to the 1v1s, you know, what's his name? Alfie's already died over in Varrock. You got Fox, who just disconnected because servers weren't doing that good, and he got DDoS. And you're watching Mika, but everybody piles onto him because he's the highest level, and it's like, oh well, now it's just a bunch of randoms, and we're just watching the RuneScape stream at this point.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
And
so
it's like after,
I don't know, they need to, if they want Deadman mode to become an actual esport, they want a RuneScape esport, they need to make it way more exciting for the viewer to get involved in. Because at the moment, it's like, I don't know, it's just like watching a bunch of random people you've never seen in your life fight over a video game. It's like you could just step out into the wilderness and watch that.
Yeah, it's not really much of a change, and realistically, the funnest part for me was watching people achieve like such huge goals in such a short amount of time, and then the actual 1v1s, you know. And there's that weird area of clan man mode and the final hour, and it's just shit, you know what I mean? And I feel like getting rid of that final hour of people just fucking going ham on each other, like big groups of teams, and bringing it just straight down to 1v1s, I feel like it would also stop a lot of disconnects and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, at the same time, they could also just like make up a new thing. Keep Deadman mode going for the clans, because it's good. There should be things that clans can do in this game, and I like the idea that there's good things for clans, but it's at the moment they're organizing things for clans, but they're sort of handlocking singles players. There's nothing for a single player to do to prove that they are the best at something in this game, because there's no tournaments run for singles. It's all run for clans.
Yeah, just rename it to Clan Man mode and make Dead Man mode the other one.
Legit.
So I think that's enough about Dead Man mode. A bit of rambling with that. Mudkip, do you have any opinions on Dead Man mode?
It's never really interested me at all. I'm not into PKing at all, so I don't have much to say.
Hardcore Iron Man, by the way.
By the way, yeah. Dying scares me. In the game. And
you're fearless in real life.
Yeah.
Fight me IRL.
No.
Alright, moving past that, you know, they had the integrity game changes coming up, part 1. You know, they had the duel arena, the mage training arena, and stuff like that. What do you guys think about their effort to actually apprehend bots and slow them down a bit? Do you think that it's kind of, you know, pointless because the bots will get back to the same shit anyway, or do you think it's actually gonna make a difference?
I love it, dude. I love what they've done. It's they've said before that because of the way the game engine is, it's hard to actually, you know, target bots in a mass scenario. And that's exactly what they've done right now. They've just targeted bots in a mass scenario, and they've made it so much more difficult for bots to do what they wanted to do. And it's good to see that actually, you know, making an effort to get rid of them to the best of their abilities. You know what I mean?
You can tell they really thought into it too with the whole with the box trap thing. They thought about like the quest Eagle's Peak and how like peers can't do it, so they changed it so that peers can do it. I thought it was really well planned out.
So like for a normal account, it doesn't really change anything in the game. For a bot, it's going to change a lot. So it's good. You can't. It makes it more difficult for a bot to get to that point, so that when they do get banned, it takes them longer to get back to that point, and they can get banned again. And it's just like that is going to overall have less bots in the game. And then also like normal players that decide they want a bot, like regardless of bot farms, it's really going to stop people that just bot for money on the side or whatever they do from wanting to do that now, because instead of being able to just make an account, jump straight into it, they're going to have to, go through and do other things on their account. So
yeah, because who really wants to do Eagle's Peak on a bot account like 500 times? Like who really wants to get, what is it, 500 total level to go telegraph Zammy wines? Like,
yeah, it's a commitment.
And honestly, it'll help like a lot of normal players too, like free to play players trying to get their first bond. Instead of having to be barred from competing with everybody else, if they've really grinded it out and gotten 500 total level on free to play, which is pretty hard to do, to be honest.
It's definitely not easy.
They're gonna have a larger advantage, and I think that's awesome. It gives free to play players a much better chance.
I also think it's gonna help with finding the bots, because if they have fucking like 1,000 accounts now that have just started their account and the first thing they do is Eagle's Peak and then go straight to the chin hunting, it's like, well, they can have a look into that account and see if it's a bot.
A bit suspect, a little bit suspect.
It could be an alt account or someone who's new to the game trying to maintain their bond. You never know, but I'm sure there are detection software.
They can look into an account that just started and went straight for Eagle's Peak.
Yeah, just a lot more red flags.
Yeah, exactly.
They had more changes too coming up as well. They, of course, the infamous Artie Knights change with the whole pickpocketing in the bags and stuff. And I know that you've been grinding that out, Mudkip.
I think it's gonna happen. It's happening winter 2017 is what I've heard.
Yeah, it's coming up soon.
The Artie Knights nerf is this Thursday, I heard.
No, it's rumors. No one knows for sure when it's happening.
Get it in right now.
I thought they confirmed this Thursday. Sorry.
I think they said there's gonna be more integrity changes coming this week, but I don't think they said specifically the Artie Knights are gonna be changed.
You better start pickpocketing, Kip. You better get that 99.
It's a hint. I know, man.
Anybody who is an actual player of the game and not an auto clicker, it changes nothing. It's one extra click.
Yeah, a lot of people are
28 clicks, and
a lot of people are freaking out. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal.
I know a lot of people.
I think it's because we don't know exactly how it's gonna work. Like we kind of have an idea, but like not.
No, they've said exactly how it's going to work. You get a coin pouch in your inventory rather than coins, which is stackable, so you can still have all of your food in your inventory. And then you can only have a maximum of 28 coin pouches in your inventory at any given time. And it's a one click to open all of them. So you open every single coin pouch.
So you get 2 coin pouches. So with Rogue's outfit, do you get 2 coin pouches per pickpocket or just double coins per pouch?
That's an interesting question. I guess that's the only thing we don't know.
Yeah. It doesn't let me bring one extra
it's like,
food.
Regardless, the way that the system works in this game, you can literally pickpocket the same tick you eat food. So you can literally pickpocket the same tick you open the coin pouch.
But no one's going to do that.
Well, if you really like, the only thing people should be worried about is the XP rates being changed, because they have to make one extra click every 28 clicks. And it won't be changed at all because you can do it in the same tick.
Yeah, they have tick fishing, and now they're going to have tick pocketing.
Tick pocketing.
The thing, it's sweaty pyramid plunder at blackjacking for better XP rates anyways.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's not going to change anything, dude. You can still AFK Artie Knights. You just like every 28 times you have to click one place up like else. So if you're looking for the best XP rates, obviously if you're looking for the best XP rates, you go to Pyramid Plunder after 91 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, no one's going to tick-eat their food as they're pickpocketing.
What?
Tickpocketing.
No one's going to tick-eat their food when they're pickpocketing.
That you can already do that, Kit. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but no one's going to do it though. Like, why would you do that?
So no one does it now. But the reason I brought that up is because it won't change anything. There's no delay between opening your coins and being able to pickpocket again. So it doesn't change the XP rates.
Basically, what he's trying to say is that it requires a little bit more effort to basically stop people just auto-clicking. I personally, I feel really bad. I feel really bad for the people who use their toes to click because now they can't just use their feet. Have you seen that? There are people.
Yeah.
There are like guides like how to do Artie Knights efficiently. It's like, all right, so you got to take your mouse, you got to put it underneath your foot, and then you press it with your big toe. It's like, wow, that's like this is like next level like AFK because you're not even thinking about it. You're just fucking with your toe every now and then, like just click.
Literally.
It's like, yeah, set up 2 mouses so you can have one for your toe for clicking, and then you can move it with your other one and just watch Netflix.
Finally got used for that old laptop.
Rest in peace. Infamous Artie Knights change. Bringing into the game new meta tickpocketing.
Tickpocketing, exactly, man.
I can't.
I'm gonna patent that. I'm gonna be the first person to perfect tickpocketing, and I'm gonna make a video on it. Oof. Think of the views, boys.
Nope, that's gonna be me. I'm the one who thought of the name here.
That was pretty quick. That was clever.
I know I am. Anyway, so this is more geared towards Mudkip. So hardcore Iron Man, by the way. You know, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm not nearly as far ahead as you. But you know, I do have a higher agility level.
You are much better, though.
Yeah,
That's
obviously
true.
There are news broadcasts that do say that I am in fact better. So you can't really argue with a doctor. Can't argue with a doctor. You can't argue with news broadcasts, and you can't argue with the set twins either. Let's be honest here. But there's a lot of shame sometimes in being a hardcore Iron Man because you can't do the same things that other people can do. But sometimes it just feels really unfair. You know what I mean? And I was thinking, like, what do you think when it comes to hardcore Iron Man? What quality of life changes do you think would be best for them? To still make the game fair in comparison, but still have the same ideals as a hardcore.
I don't think there's really much that can be changed, really. I mean, things like if you're at Giant Mole, if you have a friend who has the Faldor Hard Diary, you can still follow them around, things like that. You can't really change certain things. Or hardcores that boost or buy rune pouches. I mean, I think there's really nothing else to change. It's not really like a single player mode. For it to be a true Iron Man or a true hardcore mode, it has to be offline. But as a multiplayer game, I don't think there's really any way to change the way it is because other players are just a part of the game.
Yeah, and I think that is one thing that could be changed. You said the rune pouch. I feel like that's such a shifty way to actually get it. Such an essential item,
It's pretty controversial for her. I don't talk to any of the hardcores because I do stand alone, by the way. But at least to me, it seems pretty controversial. I mean, I don't care what other hardcores do. I just play the game for fun, the way I want to play it. But like, it seems like some people seem to be pretty controversial over it.
Yeah, you're pretty much barring an account from such a huge item, especially because inventory spaces matter a lot. And with the risk of trying to boost and actually get the emblems and stuff, if you're paying somebody, who knows if they're just gonna whip out a Gmaul and AGS and just spec you out while you're getting their stuff, and it's like, oh, rip hardcore, because I want to be an asshole.
It also kind of devalues. I think it also kind of devalues hardcores who do Wildy Slayer, who like actually try to work for their emblems, which there probably aren't too many. I think most do just buy them, but I'm sure there are plenty out there that do that. And there is actually a method as. Wait, what's that?
I was gonna say a good handful of hardcores who do Wildy Slayer, like an absolute mad lad.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few of them, but there is actually a way where you could do Wildy Slayer completely safe, if you have a lot of Slayer points and you go to the Cristelia and you keep skipping tasks to get skeletons, you could kill those skeletons that are like from across the wilderness ditch and get emblems that way. Of course, it takes a very, very long time. Well, you know, go to like one step across or whatever. Wait, you can't kill them from across there?
You have to be in the wilderness when it dies.
Okay, well, you could step like one step into Wildy and kill them that way, but...
Same thing with the, what are they called? The bandits? What are they called? Like the level 5 dudes that just walk around like right in the beginning of that dungeon underneath Edgeville?
Oh, right.
Yeah, you could do those guys too, potentially.
I don't think bandits are a Slayer task.
I thought anything in the wilderness could be assigned as a Slayer task.
No, not everything.
Oh, well, shucks. Yeah, you are the expert here when it comes to Wilderness Slayer.
It's the meta after all.
Because everybody loves a lot of good meta. So there's really not much you could really do for the hardcore, huh? When it comes to making it a little bit more fair on like something like that, though. But like you said, devaluing stuff, and it's just hard to do.
Yeah, I just don't think there's a way. I mean, maybe there is. I can't think of anything though.
Well, moving forward, you know, 2017, winter 2017, RS Mobile. Are you guys in it on one of the betas at all? Either of you?
Nope.
No, I'm not.
Ah, it's a shame. When do you think they are actually going to realistically try to get it out? That's pretty much probably the next focus currently.
I have a funny feeling. I have a very funny feeling that they're going to announce it at RuneFest. I know they kind of announced it last year, but I think they're going to announce the release at RuneFest. That's just my bold prediction, but that's just that's what I'm...
Let's be honest. That's probably the most realistic expectation. October 2018, from winter 2017 release to an winter 2018 release, boys.
I don't know. I think they worked pretty hard on it, and they're trying to get it out as quick as they can. But like, there was a lot of things that they didn't think about when they made the release date that they have to do in order to get an app out and running. And personally, I'm glad that they're taking their time with it and not trying to rush it out.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, yeah. I'd rather have a fully functioning and working app rather than a broken one.
Yeah, it'd be better like bugs and have to like re-roll accounts or roll back accounts or whatever. And yeah, definitely better for it to come out working and be a few months late or a year later, whatever.
Have you seen the Facebook posts and stuff, like the fake Facebook ads phishing people for getting RuneScape?
Oh yeah.
iOS beta access and stuff like that? They're so prevalent. I get them all the time. You know, it's like, well, how come like that they're not taking action against stuff like that? Do you think you have any idea?
I think they get taken down pretty quickly. I don't think they're really up for that long. I don't use Facebook at all, but like from what I've heard about it, they get taken down pretty fast. We'll just report it.
Still pretty rough though. You can just imagine how many people have lost their accounts. Because you see people, when I do see those posts, you know, people are tagging each other like, oh man, look. And it's like, oh crap, you know, here we go, let's do this.
I have a very strong opinion that if you're stupid enough to get your account phished, you deserve to have your account phished.
A lot of people would agree with you, and when it comes to Facebook as well, if you just see any post that the RuneScape Facebook page has, it's like there's 10 comments talking about mobile, like release mobile, winter 2017. It's just so cancerous, and I just love to look at it and go, wow, these people. It's the same guy too. It's really funny. You just see with the same dude on every post just typing winter 2017 ... And it's just so bad just looking at all the posts. It's like anything Deadman mode related, it's just like I feel like I'm in SparkMatt's Twitch chat, and it's so bad.
SparkMatt's Twitch chat, or
yeah, it's just like so bad. It's just so much anger. But anyway, yeah, that's all I got for today, honestly, when it comes to stuff like that. What do you think, you know, is going to be after mobile? What do you think they're going to start working on next? Do you think they're going to start? I think it's probably going to be. I personally think it's probably going to be the Zaya revamp.
Oh, the Farming Guild, I think.
Yeah, because they released a couple of leaked images, I believe, of like a redone Zaya. Like one picture was like the Hasidius house, and it looked a lot like Artie. I actually
heard a lot of
confused
stuff
him
on
for Artie
Reddit,
at first.
like last year.
I hope that they work on something else PVM related. Just being biased.
Maybe something that's like, maybe some kind of like group PVM, maybe like group skilling and PVM together.
Yeah.
Maybe like group, like a new Iron Man mode. Maybe?
Yeah, like you can
like,
only
yeah,
trade
like
with
new
the certain
like new
players,
Iron Man
right?
game mode.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
You know what's a good
I think
idea?
that'd be
We
great
should message
content.
them at tipoff@jagex.com and like, hey, got an idea for you boys. What's
I think I'll send an email to my friend Mark about this. The last thing to say.
Marky boy.
Yeah, he works over at Jagex.
I'm interested to see what they end up doing with the desert too, because they got all that land over there just like untouched.
Oh yeah.
It was really cool to see them
That
fill
one
out.
city.
What's the city called in the desert? Yeah, you were about to.
Like Sophonem, Menifos.
Yeah.
There's like the one city. It's like west of Sophonem. It's like just an empty city. There's nothing there.
Yeah, Raids 3, boys.
Oh man, I can't wait for Raids 3.
Honestly, that's probably where they're gonna throw the next Raids 3. I saw a really cool idea that was like a deeper desert. It was like where desert robes basically had no effect, and it was like you were constantly drinking water. And there's a lot of like roaming bosses over there, some shit like that, like a sandworm or something.
I feel like
like the strike worms from EOC.
desert heat that never goes away would be really AIDS.
It sounded pretty rough, but it sounded like there's a lot of reward there too. I thought that was a really cool idea because they filled out Mauritania, and I thought, you know, that's really awesome. You know, I never seen something like
That's
that
cool.
in all my years, you know, playing RuneScape, and I thought, wow, it's finally done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They finally finished
It
it.
sounds like the whole roaming bosses in the desert sounds more like an endgame content type of thing. I feel like the game needs more mid-game content. Like the gargoyle boss, I thought that was good mid-game content.
The Moss Giant boss for the free-to-plays. I feel like the free-to-plays, they deserve a little bit more too.
Oh yeah, free to play too.
The bosses, I think, like introducing really low-scale small bosses in free-to-play is awesome.
I know they said they were coming up with a few more like ice giants or something.
It's all good and well to like bring new things out for free to play, and it would be cool, but at the same time you have to remember that they're a business. They
Yeah,
have to make people want to become a member.
I agree with that.
I think it's hard to make money in free to play with all the bots. I think if people had some way to get like a bond, whether it's like through making money or through having like an untradeable 7-day bond that they were given after like finishing all the quests or something, I think that'd bring a lot more people into becoming members.
That's a cool idea, dude.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool idea. Or like maybe a vendor on like a specific world that like once you reach 750 total or something like that, or 500 total, you can go on that world. Basically, you purchase a one-time bond from a guy for a really cheap amount, like say like 500k, and he's like, oh, here's a set week-long bond. It allows you to be a member for a week. That'd be pretty cool too.
At the same time, I think
It'd be
anyone
cool,
that's
like,
reached
gold too.
750 total in free to play is probably good enough to afford their own bond, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
I think if you can be a member for even a few days, you could. If you're like me, if you're really sweaty about it, you can make a bond from like a brand new account like a day or two. I mean, even with a week, that's plenty of enough time to be able to sustain the bond.
I mean, you can make a brand new account free to play and have a bond in like 20 hours. You can do it. It's possible, but not everyone is, you know, as advanced at the game as we are, especially new
Yeah, I mean,
players,
everyone who's free to play. If you're stuck in free to play, you probably don't know about most of the methods unless you've been like really looking at videos and stuff and doing your research. But even that, it's still not the same as doing it yourself.
Yeah, people aren't, you know, as experienced in the game as you two gentlemen. You know, incredibly experienced, and know how to make a bond like that.
We've spent a
Yeah,
lot of
stuck on
time in our dark room for 18 hours a day,
Perfecting
every
your
day.
craft.
Getting
It's like
very
Mika
sweaty.
playing Deadman mode, but just forever.
Forever, exactly.
Full sweat. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys coming in and joining the podcast. It was a really fun time.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Having us, man. It's great.
No, I talked about a lot today, and yeah, that's about it. Just shooting shit, you know what I mean? Good stuff. I hope you, the viewer, enjoyed listening to this podcast. Probably going to be just under an hour. Thank you for listening in, and well, we'll see you next time on the RuneCast. Bye.